almost all the campaigns, the table is there and he's following it step by step. And when he get there, he will try to convince and tell Nigeria what he's doing and what he has done so far and what he intends doing if getting the next mandate of the next 4 years coming. So issue of debate is not even arise. What can you do for us and how far you have gone? And when you come, you promise us a lot of things which he has done them. And it's there. You can go all over the country. There is not anywhere in this part of the country that you will go, you will find a president of the federal government and doing one project or another. And those are the kind of things that Nigerians want at this particular time. And if to say it's the new president or is the newcomer that is coming, that is where you still insisted that maybe Nigeria need to hear from him or he need to come and have him debate with other presidential candidates. I think he has been attending different debates even before he became the president. So that to tell you that he's on ground and he's ready to do whatever Nigerian want, and that is what he's doing for Nigerian.
Let me take it away from you and bring it to the studio here. But Mr. Etok, he says that the president has been attending even debates before he became president and has said that what we really need, he's reiterating that fact, that what we need is what the president has been able to deliver to the people as we stand today.
Yeah, in the first instance, I'm not aware of such forum that Mr. President has debated before becoming Mr. President with other people. That's number one. But more important is the fact that for where we are today, people are dying. And this is a general statement. We've become the poverty capital of the world. What we need is a recalibration and looking for the very best. What we've been doing all along is politics, politics, politics. When he says Mr. President is the best, I think that Mr. President is a man with a lot of integrity. I have a lot of respect for him. But you see, nothing is going to make him my driver. Nothing in the world. Not all his integrity, because my driver needs that capacity for quick reflex. He needs to be able to stay awake on long journeys. He needs to be able to read.
I'm putting his health on the question.
Yes, the point is that we must, because of where we are today, undertake a complete different profiling, paradigms for us to be able to get who we want.
No,
so when you keep telling me,
putting
yes,
the president's health on the question.
Yeah, not health. I'm talking about his age. For goodness sake, at 55.
Does age have anything to do with your ability to implement
yes, it does. It does.
Policies?
It does. At 55, there are certain things I want to be able to do, I can do. Not to talk about 85. You've got to be able to stay awake all night and read so much memos and have so much meetings and be able to brainstorm.
Why do you have ministers?
For today, for today we operate what we call cerebral governance on a global scale, and Nigeria cannot be different. No matter the ministers you have, they can only bring memos to you. You've got to be able to read the memos, be able to decipher the meat in the memo, be able to see possible tricks in the memo, be able to take informed decision.
But his advisors are there to help him out.
No, advisors advise you. You take informed decision because you've got to go through the stuff yourself.
Okay, let's take a look at this issue. Okay. The former president, my apologies, Olusegun Obasanjo has made some statements just yesterday we saw. And let me quote from this one. He says, "Today another Abacha era is here. The security institutions are being misused to fight all critics and opponents of Buhari and to derail our fledgling democracy. EFCC, police, the Code of Conduct Tribunal are also being equally misused to deal with those Buhari sees as enemies. I personally have serious doubts about the present INEC's integrity, impartiality, and competence to conduct a free, fair, and credible elections. And if the INEC is willing, will the ruling party and government allow it?"
You see, there's something about the word integrity that Mr. President has to watch, because that's one thing he's got, and he's got to defend it with his life. Integrity means that you are blind to truth, even when it hurts or affects you negatively. The general perception is that the people around him are taking advantage of the security apparatus and intimidating others. It became very apparent in the case of Osun State. The question is, to what extent is Mr. President owing us that duty, obligation, to put his foot down and say, I insist the neutrality of the umpires. INEC, do your work. Anybody advises you or otherwise, I, as Mr. President, am saying make it free, fair, credible.
What about the first part of the quote?
Yeah.
Which says that an Abacha era is here.
Yeah, there's a certain level of fear around the area of being harassed or being intimidated. It's pervasive. It runs around the social media. I cannot sit here and tell you that Mr. President is responsible for that. But you see, the buck stops at the end of his table. And it's because probably some people know that he might not have access to the... Mr. President has to have a social media handle that nobody tells him about. He has to be able to open and go through certain things that nobody has censored before coming to him. He has to be able to step aside and do that James Bond stuff and find out whether he's being fed with the truth by his people or they are taking advantage of his goodness. He's a good man, and people are best at taking advantage of other people.
Oh, Mr. Fakai, what gives you the impression that in the... Okay, I understand we need to go to break, but we'll come back to this in just a moment. Stay with us.
In our world of sports, the action never stops. It's fierce, engaging, exciting, entertaining, controversial, and sometimes frustrating. At Channel Sports, we go beyond the action on the field. We get you involved to make you the champion.
Mr. Fakai, I was going to ask you, what gives you or your party the impression that this is going to be a stroll in the park?
Hello?
What gives you the impression that Nigerians are going to go ahead and give you all the votes, because that's the impression that many get from what you're saying?
Well, my impression is that I think I'm optimistic that with the way and manner the leadership of President Muhammadu Buhari is going, I so much believe a lot of things will improve when we get to the next level. And President has been doing his best. He has come when there is a lot of crisis in this country. He's tried and put all his best to see how he can be able to manage it, to make sure that Nigeria will be back in the right track, which I'm optimistic that if Nigerians have more trust and entrust President Muhammadu Buhari and give him the mandate come 2019 to complete the remaining 4 years, I believe so many things will change for good for the benefit of Nigerians. And what President Muhammadu Buhari is trying to do is always the masses should identify that there is an existence of government. And I can give the Nigerian assurance that if President Muhammadu Buhari get that mandate and be back by 2019, believe me, Nigeria will appreciate I will identify what he has done so far and what he's going to do for the benefit of the country.
So, Mr. Etok, do you think that your party has enough to take on the ruling party, either at the national or at the state level?
Yeah. Let me talk about the state level, and I'll rush this as fast as I can. We must understand that Akwa Ibom State is no longer this one-party state it used to be. It's now a two-party state. Give each of them 40-40, leave about 20 to the people. Whoever has that 20 is the one who decides who is going to be the governor come 2019. That's number one.
So they're not seeking to become governor. They want to decide who becomes governor.
No, that's number one. Number two, where you look at position and trajectory, position today is 40-40, but what's the trajectory? Anybody will tell you that APC and PDP have tabled in Akwa Ibom State and are dipping, and that YDP, Young Democratic Party, is the fastest. And we started from 5. As at last week, we had hit about 25. What that means that at that rate of progress, we are hitting 50 before the end of this month. Because number one, people are tired of the fight between the two. They are looking for a peacemaker. Number two, they are tired of people that have been doing the same thing. They are looking for something different. Number three, they are looking for that man that believes in the young people and has come for what we call responsibility transfer. Because the future, I said this and it went viral on the internet. Children are the leaders of tomorrow. The youth are the leaders of today. And we, the older ones, owe the youth the responsibility, the duty, the obligation of coming to groom them for responsibility transfer. The time has come when we must have to believe in our young people and give them the chance. And that's what I've come to do. That's why all the young people in the state are seeing me as a father that has come to bring them new hope.
Mr. Fukai is a youth. He throwing his support to the president, and that's some young people.
Yeah, the president should
they don't put your eggs in one basket.
President should hand over power to the young people, groom them for responsibility.
Etok is the DG Nigeria First, also vying for the governorship seat in Akwa Ibom State. And then Sadiq Fakar is the zonal youth leader for the Northeast. He's a member of the APC. Gentlemen, thank you for coming on this morning. Well, that's the show today. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. I'm Chamberlain Uso.
I'm Gimba Umar.
And I'm Ayo Makine. Enjoy your day.
The views and opinions expressed by guests on this program are those of the maker and do not reflect the views, opinions, and endorsement of Channels Television.